Hey, what's up, people? So this is a quick HBCU story time. This story time is about the time that I lived in a trap house. This is not hyperbole. I literally lived in a trap house. All right, so this was around 2005 through 2007-ish, right? So I went to Clark Atlanta University, and those of you who have been down to the AUC Center, have been down to Clark, you know some of the off-campus housing for males can be a little less than desirable, let's just say. So one year, me and my line brother, Mike Cooper from Oakland, from East Oakland, California, we was young kids, in our mid-20s, 23, 24, and, we couldn't stay on campus anymore, so we had to get off-campus housing. So the off-campus housing list in the AUC is like, it goes from good to worse. Like, females get the best off-campus housing generally, right? Which is to be expected. Parents don't want their daughters living in slums, but their sons, they don't give a fuck about them. They'll put us in a cardboard box as long as it got running water in it, which is essentially what most off-campus housing is. So this is what happened. So I didn't know that it was a dope house, was a trap house when I moved in there, because the kid that was keeping house, his mom owned the house and she lived in California, right? So we like, okay, that seems cool, right? And the kid that was renting out the house, that's who we were paying our rent to. So we was paying our rent to him, and he was paying it to his mom, basically, right? So the first thing that threw me off was we would always pay our rent in cash. So our rent was like $300 a month. So we break Buddy off, $300 a month in cash. Now, he went to Morehouse at the time, right? But we never seen him go to class. You dig? Like, we never seen him go to class. He was always in his room smoking weed. So my first clue was, one night I was coming in late from step practice, right? And I walk in the front room and I hear like a lot of commotion. So I'm walking in, there's a room on the left when you walk into the house, right? There's a room on the left. And that's where the commotion was coming from. So the door was open and I looked inside and there was a knife lodged in the wall. So I peeked around the knife and there was a dude in there, like some low-level pimp, like slapping up some street hooker, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, is everything cool? He's like, oh yeah, man, don't worry about nothing, young buck, you good. And then she was like going off like, nigga, I'ma tell the motherfucking police. They gonna shut this motherfucker down. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. He's like, nah, bitch, shut your motherfucking ass. Get the fuck out of here. So like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this wasn't in the brochure. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm kind of like trying to like brush it off. Like, all right, that was just a thing, right? That was an aberration. So a couple days later, I come home. And Montana was the kid's name. He, he's in his room and stuff. Room is open, everybody in there smoking weed. They always have big weed sessions in there, right? So I always walk right past it. I walk past the pimp in the first room, slapping up his hooker, and I go straight back to my room. My room was in the way in the back. And for those of y'all that lived in off-campus housing back then, back in like the early 2000s, the off-campus houses have these huge, long-ass halls, right, in these houses, right? And it'd be a little-ass living room and just nothing but rooms all the way down the hall, right? Almost like a jail, you know what I'm saying? like the way they had his house back then, you dig? It was almost like a jail. So go to my room or whatever. I come out of my room, right? This is like early... This was like around noon on a school day. Keep that in mind. This is a school day we talking about, right? Okay, so cool. So I come out of my room. I go to the kitchen to grab me some cereal, right? No lie. I hang a right to go into the kitchen. And I noticed a scale sitting by a pot of boiling water in the kitchen, right? And there's a dude at the stove. I'm hoping he's weighing boiled eggs. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, I hope this nigga is weighing poultry eggs, because I hope he's not doing what I think he's doing. So on the other side of the stove was baking soda. So I'm like, okay, clearly he must have like a home ec project at school, right? Eggs, baking soda. I'm sure he's baking up something, which he was. So it was awkward because we working around each other in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I'm working around him trying to get, breakfast ready before I go to class, and he's getting breakfast ready for the block, basically, right? So, okay. So I'm like, hey man, can you pass me the milk? He's like, oh yeah, here you go, bro. And he's like, hey man, can you pass me the work? I was like, oh shit. This nigga is cooking dope in my kitchen, right? So my mind is blown, right? So he's getting ready to leave to deal drugs, and I'm on my way to a step show. It's just a weird dynamic, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, I got to go turn this homework in, and you know what I'm saying? He got to go dodge the cops, you know what I'm saying? But like, I remember thinking on my way to the step show, like, yo, there's a nigga in my house cooking dope, right? Weird. So I try not to let it bother me that all day at school. And then finally I called my line brother Mike. I'm from Kansas City originally. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no stranger to dope dealing in the community where I grew up, you dig? And most people, most people like the same way. Like my LB, he's from Oakland, so you know what I'm saying? He's seen, days like this too, but it just bothered me. Like, I'm doing my homework in a dope house. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's essentially what it was. So I called my line brother Mike up. I said, hey bro, we got a problem, man. These motherfuckers is in here cooking crack in the house, man. He's like, oh, blood, for real? He from Oakland, you know what I'm saying? They say blood and cuz. For real, blood? Oh, blood, we got to get up out of there, blood. And I was like, yeah, man, we got to get the fuck up out of there, right? So we made a couple calls, and then there was a boarding house, like literally like 5 houses down at the end of the block, right? Like, the street that we stayed on was Ozone Street, right? And if anybody been in the AUC, if you ever been on Ozone Street back in the day, any and everything went down on Ozone. Ozone was literally like the Twilight Zone. You had like Clark, Spelman, Morehouse, a few houses, and then the Twilight Zone. Ozone Street was like crack, prostitution, the whole 10. But hey man, we was in school. We was just trying to get our graduate on, right? So me and Mike, you know what I'm saying, we was like, all right, man, well, let's start moving out some of our stuff now so that when we get ready to move, you know what I'm saying, we ain't gonna have no issues, right? So he's like, cool. So it was like on a Wednesday, right? So it was like a Wednesday. We started moving out our important stuff. And by important stuff, I mean my PlayStation, his Xbox, and our clothes and our books. You know what I'm saying? That's literally all we own. You know what I'm saying? Because we like the brokest of brokest college students. We're not like all college students. Most college students are broke, but we were like the brokest of the brokest because we were staying in a trap house. So, and not to mention they was pimping women out of there too, man. So that Wednesday we started getting stuff. No, that Tuesday we started getting stuff out. No lie, yo. Goddamn Thursday morning, I'm in class, right? I get a call from my other line brother, Virgil. Virgil lived in the trap house across the street from the trap house that we were still in. Only difference between the trap house he was staying in is they were just dealing weed, right? Trap house we were staying in, it was pseudo students and like real street pimps, you know what I'm saying? Like, but really like low levels, like tennis shoe street pimps, right? And he was like, hey, shawty, goddamn, they didn't kick y'all motherfucking dough in, folk. I said, what? He said, yeah, goddamn, they didn't kick the goddamn dough in. The whole dough was wide open. Y'all might want to come down here and get the rest of y'all shit, man. Because them J's gonna be around here in a minute, folk, and they gonna clean that bitch out. I was like, I'll be damned if they clean that bitch out before I do. So I'm leaving Carl and Mary Ware on Clark's campus, right? I'm leaving Carl and Mary Ware, right? So boom, we hauling ass. Woo, 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 woo. You know what I'm saying? I called Mike up. I said, Mike, the cops done kicked the dough in. They done took everybody to jail up in there. He's like, blood, I'm on my way. So he hauling ass, I'm hauling ass. We get out of class, we get there, and literally the place is just tossed up, y'all. I mean, they They tossed the whole house. My room was ransacked. Luckily, God was looking out for us, because we started, I had the thought to go ahead and start moving my stuff out the night before or the couple days before, so that we don't have to do a lot of heavy moving, the day of when our due date was up. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing we really had in there was like old school papers, a few pictures, some porno magazines, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? Because this was 03, 04, 05. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really have internet. We didn't have all the good stuff we got now. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. But yeah, so I got a few of my school papers and my notebooks and my textbooks and stuff. And as I was walking out, I was like, yo, this motherfucker Montana was like dealing dope up out of here, and he was, smoking weed, and they had pimps all up in the front room. Anybody coming in all out the house, there was like a brand new couch sitting in the living room. I said, Mike, let's grab this couch on our way out. I said, matter of fact, what else this dude got in this room? I went in this room. He had some couple new pair of shoes, nothing much. Cops pretty much, tossed this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Mike grabbed his last little box that was in the back, you know what I'm saying, or the back porch or whatever. And then so we put his box on the couch, and we took the brand new couch that was in the living room, and we took that bitch to our new pad, you know what I'm saying, the boarding house we was about to be staying in, right down the street from it, you know what I'm saying. And we was literally walking with our belongings on the couch as we walked with the couch to the boarding house. You dig what I'm saying? Like, straight up, we were straight up savages back then, right? All right, so we get to the house, right? You know what I'm saying? My pro fight, Carlos, right? He was the one that hooked us up. He's like, hey man, y'all can pay y'all's rent here, because the dude that owns this one in school, his name is Scott Poe. I remember his name. He was a cool dude, cool older white dude, right? So he was cool, right? And so he's like, yeah man, he prorated y'all's rent, y'all good. I was like, cool. And so he said, what y'all got here? It's like, yeah, man, we went and got homeboys. We got the couch and everything, man. Anything else that was, so we don't care what else they doing with it now. You know what I'm saying? We got the best stuff. We got some furniture, you dig? It's like, cool. I was like, put it in my room. He's like, cool. So as me and Mike were going through our stuff, no lie, at the bottom of his box, so he had some dishes and some pans and stuff to cook with. There was like a little thing of like cocaine, like a 8-ball, like this much. Like a little knot like that, you know what I'm saying? It was like a knot, like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, did you see this? And it was powder too, you know what I'm saying? It was tied down, it was work, you know what I'm saying? I was like, hey man. He's like, yeah. I was like, hey, should we try to sell this or should we? He said, man, we flushing this shit, man. I was joking, but I was serious, you know what I'm saying? I was like, hey man, how much do you think we can get for this? He's like, man, street value is probably $200, but we about to flush this. I was like, yeah, you right. We broke, man. You know what I'm saying? If we had tried to sell it, the only thing we would have done is gotten caught. And how messed up would that have been? We dodged the police raid, which we didn't have nothing to do with anyway. You know what I'm saying? The dude's house it was, they took everybody to jail. You know what I'm saying? And then we get busted like some idiots trying to sell some work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't worth it. But you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, damn, like, yeah, how much you think this is gonna get worth? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the story time, man. Like that, like I literally lived in a trap house with my line brother, man. And the story ends well. We all graduated on time. We all productive. We all proud alumni of Clark Atlanta University and the Atlanta University complex, man. Find a way to make one. You know what I'm saying? And hey, man, I encourage everybody else to share. You know what I'm saying? Y'all comment below, man. Tell me what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? What we should have did, man. But yeah, man, that's it, man. I literally lived in a trap house, and I've lived to tell about it.